I believe we are live with the Think Business School debate. Good morning and good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. I welcome you all to the FMS Forum annual Think debate, which is a part of the FMS Founders Day celebrations. I welcome all the participants, the jury members, and the audience who are watching us live from across the globe. It's a pleasure meeting all of you, and we're going to proceed with the debate. We have an interesting topic today and a very interesting lineup of speakers. So without further ado, let's keep going forward. Before we go forward, let me quickly introduce the FMS Forum. So FMS Forum is a not-for-profit organization which was founded in 2015 by a group of illustrious and passionate distinguished alumni in the spirit of Guru Dakshina. So what that means is that when people graduated from their alma mater FMS, they wanted to give back to the society. And that is the reason why they wanted to do something like an intellectual platform, which would be a part of, which would be separate from the alumni association, but would also be a comprising of alumni. But the main objective of the forum has to be to create an intellectual platform through strategic leadership inputs, collective experience, and pooled financial resources. The main objective is to position FMS as a pinnacle and a thought-leading management school ranked among the best in the world. If I may introduce our jury members for the debate today, we first have Dr. Narain, who's a professor at Faculty of Management Studies. Dr. Narain is a professor in finance, and if I may tell you a little bit more about him, he teaches financial economics at the Faculty of Management Studies, University of Delhi, where he currently teaches papers on financial management for healthcare managers, financial risk management, and fixed income securities. He's a very dedicated teacher. He's an astute researcher, a corporate consultant, and a management trainer. Areas of finance interest include corporate finance, asset pricing, financial econometrics, and financial analytics. He was also a recipient of the highly commended paper from Emerald. He has published several research articles and refereed international national journals of repute. It's a privilege and pleasure having you over and to judge our debate, Dr. Narain, and I welcome you on board. Our next jury member is Mr. Prashanta Roy, who is the Managing Director of FTI Consulting. I've known Prashanta closely over the last couple of months, and I have been very impressed by his with his accomplishments and his astute observations. Prashanta is a public policy, technology, and media advisor. He's also a speaker and writer. He was the managing director at FTI Consulting, but before that, he was also the vice president at NASSCOM, heading the domestic market and internet and e-commerce council activities. He's worked closely on policy, market development, and growth, and he does advise a lot of global firms on public policy. He has written for many global and Indian publications, including BBC, India Today, Al Jazeera, Times of India, and many other newspapers. And he's also appeared as a tech expert on shows for BBC, NDTV, Mirror Now, many other channels, speaking on technology, digital policy, and green issues. He was also recently invited to contribute a paper on AI ethics and governance for Singapore Computer Society's body of knowledge. And very interestingly, his house in New Delhi was the very first certified green home. It was a pilot project for TED's Swagraha program. He's a bachelor's degree in physics from Delhi's St. Stephen's College, and he also went to St. Xavier's School, Delhi. Pleasure having you over, Prashanto, and welcome to the debate. Our third jury member is Ms. Meghna Bal, who's the director at SCR Center. If I may tell you a little bit more about Meghna, she's the director of the SCR Center. As I said, she's the leading New Delhi-based technology policy-focused think tank. She's a lawyer with deep experience in media and emerging technology. Before SCR, she worked on legal and policy strategy at the Walt Disney Company. And before Disney, she set up and led the India office for Consensus, the world's largest blockchain technology company. She regularly writes opinions for leading publications and recently co-authored The Dazzle of the Digital, a book published by Routledge that delves into digital technologies' inextricable linkage with progress and modernity in India. So we're going to proceed with the debate in a second, but let me introduce myself as well. So my name is Puneet Wadhwa. I work for a company called Hatch, which is as the country manager. And I'm also a part of the FMS Forum as the vice president this year. And I've already introduced FMS Forum. So just wanted to welcome you all to come attend events, participate in activities, and be involved in the forum's activities as well. So without further ado, let me quickly also introduce my co-host, Ipsa Radha. Ipsa is also a batchmate from FMS, and Ipsa has been instrumental in helping co-host this debate, coordinating the logistics, managing the participants and everything else. So welcome, Ipsa, to the debate, and I really thank you for your efforts as well. So if I may just quickly speak about the rules of the debate. So every team will have 10 minutes per presentation. And after the 10 minutes, there'll be 5 minutes for questions and answers. So the jury members will be asking you the questions and you would be expected to give the answers. There'll be no cross questioning by yourself to other team members and things like that. So just try to keep your speech under 10 minutes. In case you're going over 10 minutes, then jury may decide to mark you down, but it's up to the jury. But try to keep your presentation under 10 minutes. There'll be 1 minute silence between each speech for jury to mark their ballots. And in the question and answer session, jury may either all the jury may ask you questions or maybe one or two. It's up to the jury members. So the speaking order for the day is the team number one who'll be coming on stage in a minute is Akhyat Singh and Rituparna Samantare. Team two will be Garima Malik and Ridhima Srivastav. Team three will be Pratyush Kumar and Aman Yadav. And team four will be Alisha Burali and Chandni Chaudhar. So I wish all the participants the very best, and I hope that we'll have a very, very interesting, powerful, and power-packed debate. So if I may stop sharing my screen and request the tech team to spotlight the first two team members, and we can start with the debate. Can we spotlight the second participant as well? Okay, the stage is yours. And jury, if you cannot hear or if you have any issues, please feel free to flag. We may start the debate now.
Good afternoon to one and all present here. Yep. Am I audible?
Yes, you are.
Yes.
Yep. Previous slide, please. Previous slide. For decades, artificial intelligence remained a distant dream, tantalizing humanity with limitless potential. It whispered of a future where machines and humans would seamlessly cooperate, but it dwelled slowly within the realms of science fiction and visionary minds. However, today, a seismic shift in this landscape has altered the course of this narrative. Groundbreaking models have emerged, which have reshaped the very nature of this human machine interaction. With an astonishing ability to mirror human thought processes, this technology has transcended the horizon of possibilities. Good afternoon to the esteemed panelists and my fellow participants. I'm Akhyat, and this is my teammate Rituparna. It's an honor to be a part of this stimulating debate on a topic that has become increasingly relevant as we stand at the crossroads of innovation and human potential, on whether AI is a tool that empowers us or is a disruptor that challenges our very existence at work. Next slide. We are at the threshold of a transformative era where AI is reshaping industries, economies, and work. Globally, AI is set to contribute over $15 trillion to the economy, with India poised for a 35% CAGR by 2030, contributing over $900 billion by 2035. This is not just a technological shift, but is also a defining moment for India's future. In order to realize this potential, we must focus on the three pillars: reshaping work, preparing the workforce, and reinventing our strategies. Top performing organizations are leveraging AI to align their workforce capabilities with business goals, thus achieving extraordinary outcomes. India is also meeting its challenge through the 10,370 crores India AI mission, including a 2,000 crore rupee allocation for the upcoming year to develop foundational AI models and to launch a 500 crore worth AI Education Center. These initiatives position India to harness AI's power and to drive a brighter future. Next slide. AI is also redefining the way we work, delivering tangible benefits across industries. It has seen a 52% increase in productivity and a 47% improvement in the work quality, with notable gains in customer satisfaction and engagement. IT leads adoption at an 85%, following by marketing at 80%, showcase AI's versatility. Legal, also at 45%, represents an untapped opportunity. One in three workers now use AI tools, with the adoption reaching over 40% in marketing. These tools save over 3 hours weekly, equivalent to 24 business days annually, by automating repetitive tasks and enabling focus on strategic work. AI is no longer a luxury, it's a necessity, transforming workplaces into hubs of innovation, efficiency, and sustained growth. Slide. The future of work is now in a spectrum where humans and AI can collaborate seamlessly. At one end, machines excel at automating repetitive tasks like ChatGPT managing over 95% of customer queries and reducing the response time by over 80%, thus allowing humans to focus on more strategic work. At the other hand, humans also dominate in areas which require morality, empathy, and complex decision making. The true potential lies in the sweet spot, the synergy where humans and AI will work together. For workplaces, this is a gold mine. It drives exponential productivity while preserving the adaptability and empathy that only humans can offer. By embracing AI as a partner and fostering a culture of continuous upskilling, organizations can unlock unprecedented levels of innovation, efficiency, and sustainable growth, thus securing their advantage in an ever competitive world. Next slide. AI is also transforming industries with efficiency, precision, and innovation. In energy, it accelerates growth by extracting insights and optimizing oil exploration. In the banking sector, it enhances fraud detection and streamlines KYC. Governments are also leveraging AI for disaster planning, case management, and infrastructure mapping, while healthcare benefits from faster drug discoveries and streamlined patient histories. In telecom, AI ensures seamless networks and threat detections. And in the consumer sector, it helps personalize experiences and speeds up prototyping. Across industries, AI is not just a tool, it's a catalyst for unprecedented growth. Next slide. Finally, AI is also reshaping industries by redefining workforce skills and unlocking the human potential. Organizations need to clarify tasks now for machines and humans and also for collaborative ones. Globally, AI has boosted productivity up by 11%, with the top 9% organizations achieving over a 1.7x speed increase via the integration. India is leading with the India AI mission, deploying over 19,000 GPUs for AI data centers and establishing skilling centers to build fluency in AI tools. With 17% of CXOs predicted a 10% market share rise, AI is not just automating tasks, it is transforming business innovation and growth.
Next slide, please. Transforming organizations with AI is no longer a choice, it's a necessity, requiring a perfect blend of technology and people driven strategies. L'Oreal trained 15,500 employees in digital analytics, achieving a 90% global completion rate, while IBM's Garage Hubs enable teams to design and deploy AI solutions effectively. Similarly, Alibaba fosters collaboration by treating machines as team members, and Aegon equips employees with robotic process automation tools, blending human and AI workflows. AI is reshaping industries across India with transformative use cases. The Bangalore Metro leverages AI powered cameras for safety monitoring. Ola's Krutrim supports tasks in 22 languages, and DigiYatra streamlines operations with seamless biometric check ins. With initiatives like Adbhut India under Nandan Nilekani's People Plus AI vision, India is poised to become the global hub for AI use cases. Next slide, please. However, AI adoption faces critical challenges, starting with the lack of AI related skills. 50% of leaders cite this as the top barrier, while 65% of AI HR leaders are uncertain about future skill requirements. Outdated systems slow adoption by 30 to 40%, and fears of job loss delay progress. In India, the talent gap is glaring. Only 4,16,000 AI professionals exist against a demand for 1 million by 2026. Regulatory challenges amplify the issue. Without a universal AI definition, global policy alignment is impossible. The black box nature of AI raises liability concerns as well. Yet, these barriers present opportunities by fostering global standards, ethical governance, and investing in workforce upskilling. We can turn these challenges into stepping stones for a truly AI empowered future. Next slide, please. AI transformation isn't just about tech, it's about strategy and vision. First, commit to an AI strategy as India AI's bold 10,370 crore plan demonstrates positioning AI as a key driver for growth. Second, AI's benefits. Uh, Deploying 19,000 GPUs for AI data centers showcases how investments drive innovation and productivity. Third, address resistance. Initiatives like AI skilling programs turn fear of automation into collaboration and progress. Fourth, promote ethical AI will clear governance to build trust and ensure long term sustainability, a priority in India's foundational AI needs. Finally, encourage experimentation. India's AI centers for education foster innovation by turning mistakes into growth opportunities. Next slide, please. AI is a human capital revolution requiring organizations to empower teams through collaboration. Leaders must reimagine workflows to merge human and AI strengths. Upskilling is critical, with 50% of jobs needing AI related skills by 2025. Initiatives like India AI's
Minute.
10,370 crore plan, including skilling centers and centers of excellence, are preparing a future ready workforce. Next slide, please. The future of work is about empowering people and fostering collaboration. To build future proof organizations, four key steps are vital. First, empower managers as digital leaders. Leadership training boosts productivity by up to 32%. Second, overcome resistance to tech by using incentives to turn hesitation into engagement. Third, cultivate continuous learning. 50% of the jobs will require upskilling by 2025. Finally, democratize tech by bridging the gap between experts and workers. AI is driving efficiency, augmenting human potential, and reshaping industries. To resist AI is to resist change. The future of work is not AI versus humans, but AI with humans. The winning formula for innovation and
Time up,
success.
please.
Thank you.
May I request the jury members to kindly direct the questions to the team, please?
Please spotlight all the three jury members, please.
Sorry, Dr. Narain, Meghna, would you like to go first?
No, please go ahead.
Okay. Dr. Narain, do you have a question? Otherwise, I'll start.
Yep, please, you may start.
Okay, so I think great overview of the pluses and bit of an outline of the challenges. Just wondering how you propose that we deal with the concerns, especially the job loss, and is that something that you mentioned the India AI mission, they're doing a lot of stuff with making GPUs available and so on. So what do you actually do with the job loss fears, which we're already beginning to see in sectors, starting with all the knowledge economy kind of support sectors, the IT services, coding, and so on, and gradually into other areas where knowledge arbitrage is a key. Do you have a thought for that, and how do you deal with that as far as approach toward AI is concerned?
Yeah, so if I may say, generally, if you see the majority of the tasks that AI has been performing and organizations are turning towards are mostly those repetitive tasks which often do not require much of brain work. These are the tasks where the individuals, they just have to sit in front of screen for hours and keep implementing the same thing over and over again. And by instead focusing the workforce's capabilities onto more strategic decision making and onto more complex tasks, the organizations are just helping ensure that their workers' working time as well as the AI's capabilities can get augmented in the right direction, and they can help them to basically do the tasks faster.
Sorry, just that, you are describing the case for automation. Automation, of course, we've been there, done that for a few decades. But AI is actually disrupting knowledge sectors. right? And that is kind of the concern. It's disrupting writing, for example. Journalists are using AI. Magazines are saying, hey, we don't need so many journalists. Okay, so the job loss fears are now no longer the repetitive tasks which are, and I think many of the examples you've shown also suggest that it's fairly advanced customer support, for example, is not just simple Q&A where the AI is actually filling in for humans. So how do you actually deal with this? So our entire 4 million people employed in the IT services sector. So any thought about that? That's all.
So through using AI, what we are trying to say is that just continuing from what my teammate just said, that some of these mundane tasks also take away very valuable time from the workplaces. We are trying to position India as to how can they leverage AI solutions to become a pioneer in innovation. How can they use the time that is spent from doing all these mundane tasks to go forward in innovation through collaboration in with AI? Is the thing that we are suggesting is human in the loop of AI. We are not trying to replace labor. We are trying to augment labor. Also, something that has been mentioned in the economic survey 2024-2025 as well. So this augmentation is something that we are prescribing through this debate.
Okay, thank you.
Let me now, I may ask my question from my side. Okay, you also mentioned about the ethical and moral consideration in the AI implementation. If things go wrong, probably whose onus, okay, would you like to place on, okay, when it comes to the moral and the ethical consideration with the AI implementation?
Of course, all the stakeholders who are there in using AI, they are all responsible equally. But there is an overarching entity, which is the government, which has to look into the kind of ethics and the governance, if it is responsible AI that we are using or not. And then comes on the top of them all is the collaboration of all the global industries and governments to come up with a universal definition of AI, what and charting out the different rules that AI users must be following. What are the different ethics that have to be in place? So these all the stakeholders then suggesting government as the next layer, and then global partnerships and as the topmost layer in this this chain of events.
The
Yeah, and
point there is the point there is Rituparna and Akhil, that okay, suppose a robo advisory gives one not so good advice, okay, and it's okay, but it's an automated, okay, it's a AI bot, and it's not in line with the what the client, okay, might really be needing. Had there been some more, okay, consideration which a human, okay, advisor might have given that. So it's a fault, okay? So the fault has happened. So probably how would you, okay, fix up the onus, okay? That's what I was just trying to seek an answer.
Akhil,
Yeah,
would you
so
like to take it?
yes. So with regards to this, it often in such cases where you have, say, the robo advisory is not giving a proper advice to the customers, the onus of it end of the day would fall onto the company. And this is what organizations are also realizing with the advent of AI in their workplaces with regards to the amount of information that they need to share with the AI. What sort of information needs to be with a proprietary LLM versus an open LLM like ChatGPT? These are the questions that the companies need to answer by themselves. One specific example being of how Samsung almost had its entire code base onto ChatGPT owing to the oversight by certain engineers. And these are places where the companies need to evaluate upon how, to what extent do they believe that say an open source LLM is to be used as compared to their own proprietary LLMs that they are developing in house, and also ensuring that the onus of any sort of errors by the AI is placed onto the company and they accept it and have a mechanism to rectify the same.
That's all from my side.
You guys have addressed, I mean, you guys have spoken about some, synergies, but you've largely, I think, addressed them in corporate sectors or formal sectors. And given that informal sectors contribute largely to the Indian economy, like to understand whether you think that AI will play an equivalently important role there, what the challenges are. For instance, in agriculture, which is something that you haven't addressed here, which employs most Indians,
Yeah.
and other sectors.
Yeah, I agree to your point that our presentation was mostly focused on the formal sector, and we have also seen government interventions in the form of Fasal Bima Yojana, wherein they have utilized AI and ML in the digital platform known as Crop In, wherein they can send these timely alerts to farmers as to how much water and minerals and fertilizers should be given to proper root zone of the plants. It also helps in pest management, precision farming, and also apart from that, I think LLM models are also being developed in regional languages as well to help the MSMEs to take benefit from these services as well. And yeah, anything else if Akshat you want to
Yeah.
add
So
in?
What are the
one
challenges? I want to know what the challenges are as well.
Yeah. So if I may carry on. So when AI was initially being developed and in its beginning days, yeah, a lot of the fears were around how should end up taking up a lot of your blue collar opportunities and impact the blue collar economy. While in reality, it turned on to the white collar side. One major factor being in this area and with respect to the informal sector, as also pointed out by you, is the fact that uh, while AI on one side has been developed to that extent that it can automate these tasks, on the other side, in the field of the robotics, for example, we do not have enough developments that can augment or say complement this equivalent rise in AI. One famous example being the fact that you have Boston Dynamics and other companies who are just coming up with Android helpers at this point of time,
I'm going to
helpers
interrupt
which
you. What specific challenges unique to India, since we're talking in India and that is the kind of context that we're discussing. What specific challenges unique to India are there?
Yeah, so one of the first challenges that would be unique to India, especially in this sector on the informal side, is with the lack of advancement in the on the robotic automation side, which does not allow an equivalent number of helpers or agents to get into this in the informal side as compared to your white collar sector, where you have more, you can easily say run your AI agent from a simple computer and help it complete your tasks. Whereas in the informal sector, it requires more human to human interactions, and also with regards to say picking up or dropping down dealing with huge loads of work. So that is one major factor. The second one being that informal sector as such, it hasn't yet been regularized to a large extent. Government rules are, even though they exist, the implementation still remains to a very there's a lot of gap between the actual implementation versus what is intended to be. So these are certain challenges which I believe that the government will have to deal with before it ends up ensuring the implementation of AI in the informal sector.
So adding on, AI literacy is something that is difficult, has been difficult till now in the informal sectors, and strides of efforts are still left to reach at a certain point where it can be deployed at a mass scale. And the fourth point can be that customization is something that we have seen in many services in Indian-based services, customization and personalization. So can AI bring that out? Is something that we have to look into as well.
I mean, some things more fundamental are data and data to create solutions for the informal sector, and also connectivity, because connectivity is still quite poor in rural India. But thank you. That's all for me.
Thank you so much for the questions. Now we will start with that 1 minute for the assessing of this team number one.
Okay, mine is done. So whenever Meghna and Dr. Narayan, you're done.
I'm done too.
Yeah, done from my
Okay,
side.
we can move on then. Great.
Thank you so much. I would like to invite team 2 to kindly take the stage. So the members are Garima Malik and Ridhima Srivastav. Can we please have the spotlight on them? Or both of them, please?
A very good afternoon, everyone.
Go ahead, guys. Oh, you're waiting for your presentation.
Can we have a, yeah.
Yeah, it's up.
Okay, your time starts now.
We can start from the next slide onwards. Good afternoon, everyone. Today, we're here before you to champion the role of artificial intelligence as a friend, not a foe in our workplaces. Let's begin with a powerful truth. AI is not a futuristic fantasy, it is our current reality. In 2025, the artificial intelligence market is projected to reach a staggering $243.7 billion, a clear indicator of its increasing adoption across industries. Organizations are not just experimenting with AI anymore, they are integrating it into their core operations. And let's not forget the voices of visionaries. Powerful leaders have consistently emphasized AI's potential to create unprecedented opportunities. Next, through our core arguments, we will demonstrate how AI is not a threat but a trusted partner.
Please move to the next slide. Let's cut through the noise. Every technological revolution faces fearmongers. Automation, they said it would kill jobs, yet it tripled productivity and birthed an employment boom. Computers in the 1980s, a passing fad, they claimed, until 15.8 million new jobs materialized, sparking a tech renaissance. The internet, the death of the main street, they warned, until it reshaped commerce, minting empires. Now AI is here, and guess what? The same tired playbook is out in full force. But history has a habit of repeating itself, and this time we won't let fear hijack progress. First, the job displacement myth. AI isn't here to replace humans, it's here to reinvent them. By 2030, yes, 92 million jobs may vanish, but 170 million new ones will rise. This isn't a zero sum game, it's an upgrade. AI handles the mundane, freeing us to innovate. Not to forget, AI creates demands with booming fields like big data and cybersecurity. Harvard Business School's professor Dr. Kareem Lakhani has wisely noted humans with AI will replace humans without. Second, the skills gap fallacy. It's not a crisis, it's a challenge we are already crushing. Giants like Microsoft, AWS, Accenture, and Cisco aren't just watching, they are investing billions in upskilling. AI, in fact, is a catalyst itself. It delivers personalized training, bridges gaps, and equips workers for tomorrow's role. A workforce powered by AI has to be unstoppable. Third, the inequality scare. AI isn't widening gaps, it's bridging them. By 2030, it will inject $15.7 trillion dollars into the global economy. And this isn't just about the Silicon Valley titans. AI democratizes growth, smashing barriers to education, capital, language, and opportunity. Small businesses, underserved communities, AI is their ally, fueling inclusive and diverse economies. Please move to the next slide. Moving on to ethical concerns, more like ethical imperatives. This notion is a relic of the past. Today, accountability isn't optional, it's enshrined. From the EU's AI Act to UNESCO's mandates and MIT's responsible AI guidelines, the world is rallying to embed ethics into AI's core. Companies aren't are companies are already deploying bias detection and explainability. Governments aren't just watching, they are legislating. The onus to not let the fear of the unknown overshadows AI's potential is on us. Moving on to cognitive dependency. We say that it's dual intelligence in action. Executives aren't just optimistic. 71% of them know AI sharpens emotional intelligence and critical thinking. Harvard's research suggests that human AI collaboration outpaces solo human innovation in speed, cost, and creativity. MIT and BCG together found out that Gen AI boosts skilled workers' output by 40%. AI isn't a crutch, it's a co pilot. Those who cling to the dependency myth are missing the point. It's not dependency, it's a symbiotic evolution of intelligence. Workplace disruption. Try workplace renaissance. AI isn't disrupting teams, it's redefining them. By automating drudgery, it frees employees to strategize, innovate, and interact. Task distribution can be optimized, team strengths can be analyzed, inclusion is guaranteed, and remote collaboration via AI driven workspace is a reality today. CEOs have a choice. Will they let AI complement human creativity or will they cling to outdated models? So we ask you, why fear a tool that doesn't just work with us, it makes us better? Moving on to the next slide.
Now let's move from theory to practice, from potential to reality. Our research, including both primary interviews and secondary data, revealed the transformative impact of AI within real organizations today. We spoke with an employee of DBS Bank who shared how the deployment of DBS GPT, a Gen AI tool, has revolutionized his role. He now allocates less time to mundane tasks and dedicates more effort to strategic initiatives, enhancing both his job satisfaction and the bank's overall performance. Furthermore, FMCG leader Unilever has also transformed its recruitment process, leveraging AI to achieve unprecedented efficiency, as highlighted in an interview by former CHRO Leena Naik. Even American Express has harnessed the power of Gen AI to enhance customer service, resolving issues faster, and providing more personalized experiences. These are not isolated examples, they're a snapshot of a broader trend. AI is driving tangible improvements across diverse industries. Can we move to the next slide? Building on our exploration, we also delved into specific domains where AI truly shines. AI's influence spans a multitude of areas. For instance, let's talk about customer centric innovation. In today's hyper competitive market, understanding and catering to your customers is paramount for any company. AI powered analytics can sift through vast amounts of customer data to identify patterns, preferences, and pain points. This information can then be used to develop personalized products and services that truly resonate with customers. Netflix's personalized recommendation algorithm is one such example. The result: increased customer satisfaction, brand loyalty, and ultimately accelerated business growth. Next slide, please. Now let's direct our gaze towards the horizon and explore how AI is revolutionizing the very fabric of organizational structures. Firstly, the imperative for AI leadership is becoming increasingly evident. Organizations are recognizing the need for a chief AI officer to spearhead strategy, ensuring responsible implementation and harmonizing technical capabilities with overarching business goals. Secondly, we are also witnessing a flattening of hierarchies. AI is automating routine decision making and data processing, reducing the need for multiple layers of middle management. Lastly, AI is redefining skill sets. By automating routine tasks, AI frees employees to focus on strategic initiatives and creative thinking, which necessitates a shift in reskilling. In essence, the AI powered organization of the future is more agile and collaborative. It represents a space where technology and human talent converge in harmony. Next slide, please.
Fear stems from the unknown, but progress stems from preparation. Did we discard fire because it burns, or did we harness its power to build civilizations? The same logic applies to AI. Robust AI governance models will help us ensure that AI is not a freewheeling force. It must operate within a framework built on fairness, transparency, accountability, security and privacy, ethical use, and continuous improvement. We also acknowledge that governance alone is not enough. With only 1 in 10 workers globally possessing the in demand AI skills required, the role of employers becomes immense. Companies must take the lead in
1
reskilling
minute left.
and upskilling employees. Now, moving on to the next slide. Let's take a sneak peek into the future because it is extraordinary. By the end of 2025, 1 in 3 companies are projected to invest more than $25 million per organization in AI innovation, which is projected to increase by 60% in the next 3 years. With its immense applications, as stated here and otherwise in the presentation, it can make workplaces seamless, revolutionize industries, and redefine sustainability. So, Team FMS Striders challenges you. Are we going to cling to the outdated fears or are we going to seize this moment? History is proof. We don't just adapt to change, we thrive on it. AI isn't the enemy, it's the opportunity of our lifetime. Let's not stand in its way, let's lead the charge. The future awaits and it's ours to shape. Thank you.
Time up. Thank you. Can we have the jury members to kindly direct the questions at the team?
Okay, I have one if I can go first.
If I may just quickly request participants to keep their answers under 1 minute. Thank you. Thank you so much, Mr. Prasanto. Over to you.
Yeah, so you mentioned and you gave some good examples to support that AI will bridge divides and it'll democratize and it will not create more. And you gave examples from automation where there was resistance, etc. My question to you is closer home to you in terms of the classroom, which is where I think there's been a struggle to figure out how much of AI should be allowed and not or not allowed. We saw in COVID, there was this massive technology powered digital divide, which happened because there are a lot of kids in remote learning who did not have access to all that technology. Now we are seeing that same thing happen with AI, where many kids do have access, and we are increasingly seeing people who are able to use AI in a way that masks, the use of AI when we are using simple AI tools to go through assignments and things like that. So how do you deal with that? Because, at the end of the day, if I'm even recruiting somebody as an intern or whatever, I want to be able to assess their own thinking and writing skills and not their ChatGPT skills.
That is a very, very critical question, especially given the times as you described, sir. And what we propose is that the solution itself lies in AI. The best tools to detect the usage of AI in any work, any assignment, or otherwise are tools which are based on AI. It is the same technology that detects its own usage in the work that we submit. So, while the problem is critical and we are facing it immensely in the current times, even Google, through its Google Classroom tool, it does have an option of checking the percentage of, let's say, the AI usage or the plagiarism from other sources. It is
Sorry,
AI based.
if I may just interrupt for a second. So I'm not really asking about how to detect. My question is more about what you think about allowing the use of, AI in the classroom and for assignments and so on. The how to detect is a cat and mouse game, which, I'm trying to get ahead of some of the tools. They are trying to get ahead of some of the tools, etc. So should it be allowed? How do you feel about AI in the classroom?
Rules and regulations define the behavior in classrooms. If we decide that, if we make up a policy and we decide that there have to be repercussions for unacceptable AI usages in the classroom, that would be the basically a feedback mechanism that would encourage students to not use it. Garima, would you like to add something?
Yeah, so we were also, while doing the research for the presentation, of course, education sector is something of focus. While we also came across this data that more than 60% of educators today have started using AI tools to sort of regulate or help better their classroom teachings or helping improve the learning process. So I think it's more up to the educator himself or herself to decide what percentage of AI, should be allowed. However, we personally believe that during the learning process, it should be to a very limited extent because, of course, like you said, it's also important for the students to learn themselves to better and sort of discover their own skill themselves. So while AI can be an augmenter, it should definitely have a more regulated usage in the classroom for students.
Thank you.
And to build upon that and answer your query about assessing interns who are submitting their work, we can perhaps change the entire system and judge them on skills that AI itself cannot replicate. Skills that would require human intervention, including critical thinking, their empathy, their ability to deal with complex problems, and in fact, more practical assignments which we can actually watch the interns and students perform.
Okay, if I may now ask questions. I think the idea, okay, which has been built throughout the presentation was that, okay, that some of the repetitive tasks can be handed over to the AI, okay, and which is what, okay, is a fear of replacement. So there are two points, okay, which is to be noted here. Firstly, if I don't do a repetitive task, okay, probably where do I get a time to think about those repetitive tasks in terms of innovations? If I'm not checking those assignment, I'm just, okay, offloading my assignment checking task to AI. Probably how can I, okay, innovate about, okay, checking those assignment itself? Because it's now the task rather I can also need to offload it to the AI itself, okay? So the AI do those routines and do make an innovation in those routines itself. Okay, that's a one part of it. Okay, so offloading everything repetitive to an AI, okay, doesn't give you scope for innovation. You can only innovate when you know the things. When you don't know the things, probably how would you innovate that? Okay, that's a one part of the issue. The second part is what about those non-repetitive? It's not always the repetitive task. If AI is replacing the CEO, okay, I don't know. We have an instance here where the CEO was also want to have an AI, okay, to manage the company itself. So if that is a non-repetitive task, that's more about the much higher task itself. Okay, so what about their replacement? Good point.
Right. So if I can go ahead. So as for the repetitive tasks, the point is that it frees up your time and effort. So of course, a task that you've been doing your entire life, probably like for you, so checking assignments, you now have more free time to focus on maybe, sort of bettering or sort of using AI or technology itself to provide better lectures or sort of focus more on, let's say, from a professor's perspective, working on research papers, doing more academic related research, and spending more time on that than doing something like checking an assignment, which anyway would not add a lot of, value in that sense. Is a task that can be replaced by AI. As for a non-repetitive task, it cannot be replaced by AI, but it can definitely be augmented by AI. So, for example, from a CEO's perspective, if you're working on bettering your customer service, helping extract customer data or helping understand or summarize major insights from the customer data can help you make better decisions or better managerial decisions, actually, from a leadership perspective. So that is broadly what AI sort of intends to do in terms of non-repetitive tasks.
Building upon that, two ideas that we tried to focus on during the presentation as well is that one, human oversight is not recommended to be removed from the entire ecosystem. It must be there. So even if it's performing repetitive tasks, we can check what it's doing and use the remaining time to innovate. And secondly, when we ask it to do non-repetitive tasks, I would take one example. Whenever we are trying to innovate or build something new, there is a lot of secondary research that goes into that. Uh, if we uh, if we assign that work to the AI and help us do the secondary research and help us get the knowledge for the innovation that's required, I think it would be good to go and have more time at hand to actually do the work that only we trust ourselves to do.
That's all from my side.
Nothing from me.
Thank you so much. I'll just give you 1 minute to do the assessment for the team.
Yeah, I'm done.
Good to go from my side.
Okay, so I guess we can move to the next one.
Thank you, Garima and Riddhima. Next, I call upon Team 3, Pratyush Kumar and Aman Yadav to kindly come onto the stage. The other participant also, please.
Yeah.
Can we have the presentation on the screen, please?
Good afternoon, everyone. So today, me and Aman Yadav will be talking about AI at workplace, and we'll be focusing on why is it not good for the workplace, how AI is in for. So the productivity gains of AI are limited, is what our point is. Now, we are not disregarding the innovation in the field of AI, neither are we against the firms augmenting their digital products through technology. What all we're saying is, in this hype of AI, there's a lot of foam and very little cream, very little material. Now, next slide, please. Now, our argument will be centered around three key dimensions, three aspects of any workforce: the individual level, the company level, and the overall business landscape and the risks to society. Next slide, please. So, first, talking about the workforce quality and productivity. So it has been observed in studies that use of AI and machine learning in areas like HR, in areas like talent management, is actually counterintuitively decreasing the workers' quality of life. In fact, this was research by Institute of Future of Work that surveyed 6,000 employees and found that traditional ICT is much more effective at handling employees' performances than AI software and variables. And this makes sense after all. For example, talk about performance management. Say your manager comes to you and says, "Hey, you're not getting that bonus you wanted just because a black box that I do not understand." That Jeffrey Hinton, the chief AI researcher at Google, himself claimed that AIs are a black box he does not understand, but it told me to not give you that bonus because your performance was not up to par. What would you feel? Wouldn't you be discouraged from work? That is the case today. In many research, many surveys, we find that HR automation actually decreases workers' quality of life in the workforce. In fact, we have instances where companies like Microsoft and Google themselves fumbled the bag. Companies which are at the forefront of this innovation. What would then be the case of MSMEs? The other aspect of AI is regarding innovation itself. To understand this, let me narrate a small situation. Say a drunkard is finding a key under a street light. Now, a policeman approaches him and says, "Where did you lose this key?" The drunkard says, "Well, I lost it in the park, but it's easier to find it in the street light." This is called the streetlight effect, and this perfectly explains how AIs work. AIs by design are plagued with the problem of finding the local optimum. They will find a solution which is easier in the streetlight area rather than look for the uncharted territories of the dark areas, things at which humans excel at. In effect, this would mean that a business individual that can use AI is as good as the average Joe. But that defeats the entire purpose of an AI system. Now, Aman would take upon the company level and the societal aspects. Next slide, please.
Coming to the threat to the company. So first start with lifeblood of AI, the data. ChatGPT is under several lawsuits from major publications like New York Times, and we don't know what the consequences on the companies using those products would be, ChatGPT. Similarly, recently, we have seen that you can actually use AI model to distill the training data used for it. So now again, think a company using their own proprietary data to train a model, that model can be used to extract that proprietary data from the company. It's a legal landmine out there. Similarly, IBM has uh, proposed that from 2026, most likely AI models will run out of good data to learn. Then we are getting into synthetic data problem. This data will most likely be biased, and we will be making models that have decreasing productivity out there. Coming to the work product. So human controlled, human made algorithms give better results than AI models that are very amorphous and, like my friend said, black box at this point of time. Air Canada learned it the hard way. Their AI chatbot cooked up new refund policy and they have to pay the fine. And you can right now go to Air Canada website. They have not restored that chatbot till now. So it is there. Next slide, please. Coming to the risk to the higher society. So it is not just there is bias in AI system. The bias is very hard to catch up in the training. It is very hard to correct that bias. And we sometimes have to discard the whole this AI model because we cannot do that. Take example of Amazon. For Amazon, it took them 4 years to detect a bias in their AI recruiting system. 4 years for a company like Amazon. Similarly, iTutor, an online tutoring platform, has to pay $300,000 because of the bias in their AI system. These black box models create threats in the larger, not just company, a society, which those threats exist for long period of time. The AI models, which might be working correctly right now, due to their continuous learning algorithms, might not work later in the future. And there is no metrics to detect that risk at this point of time. Coming to the AI assigned blame, it is not just, again, about blame. We have philosophical question that AI-driven car hits somebody, who you assign blame to. But the question is also of agency. How do you now correct that model? We have seen that latest model, we get all the EU regulations, everything, but the latest model of both by DeepSeek and ChatGPTs have been jailbroken. These new models require every time updated governance structure. That governance structure is not able to keep track of what we are seeing. So additionally, the companies who are claiming they are getting so much returns out of it, companies like Amazon, Microsoft, the investment is upward of 350 billion projected in 2025. We have seen that they have retooled their depreciation formulas to show that they are getting those returns. So they are not able to build a strategic moat out of AI models at this point of time. There is lots of foam, like my friend said. Coming to the AI being a present reality, let's take example of Google right now. Tomorrow you will see a Google ad in Super Bowl that is built by AI and is about AI. But journalists, through a simple Google search, surprisingly, find out that the ad contained inaccuracy about simple cheese volume of cheese being sold in US. It's a singular Google search. And this is, you have one of the world's largest corporation running one of the strongest model out there, not able to correct that with all the quality control testing and everything. The truth is that what you get out of AI, you cannot be sure of it. The cost of hallucination remains very high, especially for a corporation level. Again, for an individual level, doing rote tasks, it also creates lot of digital glut. For example, I'm writing a 500-page essay using a single prompt, and a professor is again correcting that 500-page essay using a single prompt. What use that it is doing that? What use it is going through? The question is at the end of the day that only. So, like we said, our major three ideas stands on major three maximum. First is that on an individual level, the productivity gains are not that high. We are not seeing those much of productivity gains. Second, on a corporation level, it might result in a business model similar to airline model where we are going with thin margins, no differentiation, absence of any competitive advantage. And on a societal level, there is a solid absence of trust. We cannot trust the work product of any of these models at this point of time. Thank you.
That was very fast. Thank you so much for finishing within time. I would like to invite the esteemed jury members to kindly direct the questions at Pratyush and Aman.
Sure, I'll let Meghna or Dr. Narain go first. This time I've been going first.
Okay, so You have taken a stance which is on the negative side, okay, of the AI implementation itself. If you just try to okay present it in a more data okay related, it would have been much better. Okay. Again, okay, why I'm saying the data related, because okay, that's where you were saying that okay, probably you will run out of the data. So you are taking a stance that AI is not going to be okay so much useful, run out of the actual data okay soon. That's what you were quoting, and then you are quoting something which is a data, okay, isn't it? Okay. And that's the whole point of AI implementation was okay. So you have a data so long as it's a GIGO, it's a garbage in, garbage out. Okay. So whenever you have that data, okay, of course your output is also going to be that way itself. So building an AI, okay, which is the faulty data is going to really result in that. Okay. So what about this data, okay, per se, which okay you can highlight on, okay,
So,
particularly for a country like India, okay, where the data will really be a issue.
hmm. So, sir, like you rightly said, it's garbage in, garbage out. The issue with AI also is there that we are now creating lots of data that is AI generated low quality. And for any training, any AI model, the tagging purpose that data need to be unbiased and data need to be somewhat of a human. So that's again, like you said, the synthetic data problem we are getting. So now the data training data we are getting, we cannot trust that training data to that level. So that trust problem in training data creates itself, and then that creates an issue. The second thing is that there was a kind of a golden period when like ChatGPT and other models scrapped through the internet and they took out the data. Now everybody is restricting themselves and not sharing the data. We can see the potent example of Reddit. It has restricted its API access. So you cannot access data out of Reddit. So similarly, everybody is creating a silos. So these large language models, which can talk about almost everything, might be hard to create in the future because the silos of data will exist. You won't have open data. Coming to the India data, you told about how India, so government has large chunk of data. We can use that data, but then again, the privacy issue comes. We have seen in like PayPal, like Gemini was able to give confidential records of individuals of their own employee due to that data. So if a scenario where the government built a model over our data, let's say, then you can extract our confidential information through that data. And again, OpenAI has accepted that Chinese hackers were able to do that on their model for training DeepSeek. So putting that data into AI models remains a threat because the data is first not pure, not secure. So that is the issue.
Also, extending this point forward, even in the societal level, what you would see is you would see that much of the data that the AI consumes is already racially charged or charged towards some minority. So we have observed in many chatbots developed by Meta also that these AIs also tend to follow that behavior, which is not a good social driver of change. So there's that problem as well. Moreover, there's also the cyber security risk that now to actually attack an AI, all you need to do is you just need to change the data it trains upon, which is called the malicious data injection. So there's that problem as well. So yeah, with AI, the whole problem around it becomes that there's the whole garbage in, garbage out scenario. And since nobody understands it properly, it's a black box. There's no point at which you could come in and say, okay, this is where the issue is.
You've spoken extensively about LLMs, but LLMs are just one type of AI system. There are many other types of AI systems that could have extremely beneficial and important use cases across industry that could add efficiencies, have limited risks, and or basically there could be ways to manage the risks. And I mean, so my point is that like you guys have focused on just one segment of AI, which is yes, an exciting segment, one that has kind of garnered media attention. But I mean, there's a world beyond LLMs, and even in the context of language models, it's not necessary that large models. I mean, there's a lot of debate about the fact that large models are not necessarily the way things are going to go, or the direction that most companies are going to go with, because a lot of companies are interested in building their own smaller models. So just wanted your thoughts on that. And
Yes, ma'am. So first, the focus was somewhat heavily on large language model, we accept due to the hype. But again, the example of Amazon recruitment AI, that was a quite a old AI that AI used to run till 2018. So that was not a large language model. That was just a AI model that was making decision based on the data it was getting. Similarly, the streetlight effect that we pointed out, that is not restricted to large language model. Any AI model try to work in this way, that they try to minimize their effort and try to get the output, the kind of optimal output for them, but not the most innovative output. So these fundamental issues are not just restricted to large language model. These issues remain across all the AI models, and we need to put in more effort to kind of use those AI models at this point of time. Are again the small language models, we are not denying they are not good, or they won't be implementable. What we are just saying, they won't be that much transformative as we are saying. There will be some change. The workplace will change. The transformation that we are banking on, the 1 in 3 companies are investing 25 million out there. Those transformations will not be visible. That's all we are saying.
Extending Aman's argument also, that the point over here is that will this AI technology be profitable in the business in the long terms? So, like we said earlier, also that all this AI technology, with which again is dependent on the data. So the data itself is some of the part of the problem over here. Our focus was on LLMs because they are the majority of the innovation drivers right now. But all these models face the same problem regarding the whole local optimum searching, the data itself, and also the implementation costs, or if we are doing in a proprietary sense.
So if I may just add on to Meghna's question in the life beyond LLM, so some of the examples that you gave were actually, like the training, recruitment, HR, etc., were of course beyond LLMs. So in those, when you speak of bias, absolutely, I'm with you. But if you look at the bias, where is it picking up bias from? It's from the training. The training is modified on the fly by what HR is doing, whether HR is, course correcting, whatever. And at the end of the day, if you find that there's a gender bias or there's a racial bias, it is probably reflecting, what that company's HR or the ones who have designed the system. So that's one point, that it's simply aggregating and perhaps amplifying. And arguably, at the end of the day, you might get, for example, it can scan through 50,000 resumes fairly quickly. And you may have a better chance to see aggregated bias at that point and say, okay, there's bias. Where is this coming from? Obviously, it's coming from us. Okay, so isn't that actually some sort of advantage? And it's not an AI fault, but it is the human input, again, garbage in, garbage out in that sense.
So, sir, coming to this, go
yeah.
ahead.
Yeah, so that is
Okay,
actually what one might think. However, counterintuitively, what happened was, for example, in Amazon, they took 4 years to actually even see that there was this bias happening. In fact, it was not even them who did it. It was Reuters who broke the news, and Amazon had to scrap the project. The point with that is we put too much trust in AI because, yes, the thing, we think that AI is already at that level of human intelligence, which it is not. And moreover, we don't understand the technology behind it. Like I said in my example, the manager who does not understand the AI simply accepts it because he assumes the technology would be very competent, which it is not. The whole idea of here it is that we have to understand that AI is more hype, more foam than the cream itself, and we have to use it more judiciously. We have to be cautious about this implementation. And moreover, about the data itself as well. So doing the things like collating information or summarizing information can be done through standard automation and ICT as well. AI comes in where you need to derive some judgments from it, and the judgment itself are the problem. That's where the bias occurs.
Okay, super. Thank you so
Okay.
much.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. We'll give the judges, the jury members, the time to make their markings
Okay, so I am done.
for team.
I'm also done.
Yeah, good to go.
Awesome. Thank you so much. Thank you, Pratyush. Thank you, Aman. I call upon team 4, Alisha Bhurali and Chandni Chaudhary, to please come up to the forward. May we have the participants, the 2 participants. Alisha,
Yes.
can we have the presentations also up on the screen?
All good.
Okay, the time starts now.
Okay, so good afternoon, everyone. So today we are here to examine an incredible opportunity to explore a transformative force that has been shaping the modern workforce, that is AI. So the overarching theme of the debate is AI at workplace, whether it is a friend or foe. And our stand is that it is a friend. AI is a trusted ally that, when thoughtfully integrated, has the potential to elevate productivity, enhance decision making, and also empower employees like never before. So, we are of the opinion that AI is not here to replace human potential, but rather to amplify it. So, let us now discuss how AI can guide us towards a smarter, more innovative, and inclusive workplace. Uh, Next slide, please. So AI in the workplace, how it can be a valuable ally. So let us start looking at the global trends. So AI adoption has been accelerating globally, with global spending projected to reach $300 billion by 2026, with over 60% of businesses already integrating AI in some form. And many of them have also been reporting an increase in productivity up to 5 times. So the integration of AI is not just an industry-specific transformation, but rather an industry-wide transformation, among which in healthcare, AI can improve diagnosis accuracy by up to 40% with AI tools. In finance, fraud detection times can be reduced by up to 90%, and in retail also AI personalization can boost sales by 25 to 30%. Now the challenges here that we have to address is that AI introduces concerns that while AI has been transformative, it can introduce concerns like job displacement and also ethical decision making. However, we can address these hurdles with proper training, infrastructure, and human oversight. Next slide, please. So let us now discuss how we can boost workplace productivity with AI. So automation of repetitive tasks. So robotic process automation can automate mundane tasks, reducing cost by 30 to 50%. AI chatbots can resolve repetitive queries, customer queries without human intervention, thus freeing up the time of employees for other creative and strategic roles. Also, real-time data processing. So, predictive analytics in logistics can reduce delivery times by up to 25%. And real-time monitoring can be used to improve decision-making speed by up to 4 times. AI-powered workforce collaboration with project management tools like Asana and Trello. These can be integrated with AI, and thus team collaboration can be boosted by up to 35%, while language translation tools can also enable seamless communication across borders. Now, AI can also prevent employee burnout. So, AI wellness platforms can be used to monitor the workload of employees, and they can be used to recommend breaks, contributing to a improvement in retention rates as well. Next slide, please. So, looking at data-driven decisions with AI, so we can use AI to process vast amounts of data faster than ever, and we can thus use those in decision making as well, thus improving speed as well as accuracy. So, it is time efficient. AI-driven methods can complete data analysis in a fraction of the time compared to manual methods, thus saving us a lot of time. And it can also improve decision accuracy as it can eliminate biases and human error, which might be introduced if the decisions were to be made manually. And in recruitment as well, it can help in candidate screening. And the decision making can also be democratized with the use of AI. Thus, tools can allow employees at all levels to access and interpret the data, thus allowing to make informed decisions. Next slide, please. So AI can also be used to power employee growth and upskilling. Personalized learning journeys can be customized with AI, thus making training experiences more immersive and also increasing knowledge retention, improving engagement among employees as well. Uh, AI can be also used to identify skill gaps in employees in their knowledge and skills and suggest targeted learning solutions as well. Companies can use AI for skill assessment, and they can empower HR departments to create smarter training strategies. Another thing is that they can break barriers to learning by the use of technologies like AI powered VR or translation. These innovations can make training globally accessible, overcoming the language and geographical barriers as well. AI can act as a catalyst for employee empowerment, thus creating a workforce that is constantly learning, adapting, and thriving. Next slide, please, which my teammate will take over.
Thank you, Alicia. Now I will be talking how AI can help us supporting workplace wellness and work-life balance. So now let's start how AI is revolutionizing workplace wellness and improving work-life balance. So first, like AI-driven workload management is helping us reduce stress by redistributing tasks effectively. Tools like Asana and Trello optimize workload and prevent burnout. Companies using such tool report like 32% decrease in the employee stress, which is a significant impact. And second, AI is promoting inclusivity and diversity by eliminating biases in policy programs. For example, AI surveys encourage anonymous employee feedback and supporting diverse hiring practices. So company embracing AI inclusivity have been seen 30% increase in employee satisfaction as well. So what's next for us? So we can see that AI will encourage work-life balance by tracking fatigue, suggest timely break to the avoid overload, and studies have shows that 80% of the employees find these tools valuable for their overall productivity and well-being. AI also support mental health through chatbot, cognitive behavior therapy techniques, and making mental health resources more accessible than ever. So finally, for this, we can say that for workplace safety, AI identifies safety risks through predictive modeling, reduces accidents by 25%, especially in high-risk industry. AI is not only creating a safer place environment, but also fostering culture of care. Next slide, please. So what is there for our now we will look for the real world stories at how AI has helped at a work. So now let's move to stories like across industries and showcasing its tangible impact. What we can see first in customer support, AI chatbot like Bank of America chatbot Erica delivered 24/7 support. Erica improved customer satisfaction by 25% and reduced operational cost by 30%, demonstrating how AI enhances efficiency and customer experience. In manufacturing, AI optimized production line, reduce downtime, increase productivity. For instance, BMW cuts production delay by 40% using AI. AI also help in reshaping HR resources by improving recruitment tools that access candidate skills that fit HR professional hire top talent more effectively, with 60% of HR leader reporting better hire outcome through AI. Finally, in the healthcare, we can see AI is saving lives and reducing cost. At the Mayo Clinic, AI achieved 95% diagnostic accuracy, helping predict complication, personalized treatment, and this healthcare industry stand to save up to 150 billion annually by 2026 with the help of AI.
1 minute.
Across all this sector, AI is just not an innovation, it's directly improving outcome. For example, retail AI has led to 15% increase. Next slide, please. So lastly, what we can focus is like how AI role is strategic partner in our workforce. AI amplify human effort, not replace it. AI drive productivity by 40%, reduce error rates by 32%, improve employee wellness by 78%, and in learning development, AI help us scaling, improving training efficiency by 40%. And by 2030, AI is projected to contribute 15.7 trillion to global economy, underscoring its transformative potential. Thank you. Can we move to next slide as we can show annexures and our sources for the PPT. Next, one more slide, please. These are the annexure where we have taken like the major statement we pointed out. These are the links where you can see from where we have taken all those data, credible data for the same. Thank you.
Time up. Thank you so much, Chandni and Alicia. May I request the esteemed jury members to kindly direct the questions at team number 4.
Meghna, would you like to go first?
Yeah, I'll go first. I'd like to know, how would you contextualize these benefits to India? Like, what are some things that you observe about the workforce here where AI could benefit people specific to India?
So coming to India, like we can see, let's first cover the academic part. What we see, academic research is little less in India. So what we can see, like student, we are not saying that 100% they optimize, they bring their research from that, but AI can help them find credible sources, how their research can further enhance. And coming to like when I was working in settlement commission also, the like manual process was not able to eliminate how whether people are paying tax or not, but when they implemented an AI over there, so they were able to like come out with whether income slabs, certain income slabs is there. And there's another example that how that a pani puri seller was sent a notice that he is earning around 40 lakhs per month. So that was help of a AI only, that because the unorganized sector, they don't come in such a way, but AI do help in that, like they can find out people who are having such kind of sources and bring it to the notice of the government in that case. And it can be a really great help in unorganized sector. And apart from that, for the companies, we have seen like they helped in optimization, reducing cost and time as well. So I think these things can really be helpful in India for coming for that part.
I just have to say one thing, that I don't know how useful it'll be in finding sources, because I mean, there have been lawsuits on this, and AI is perfectly capable of making up sources. So just to be clear on that.
Yeah, adding to that part, as you rightly pointed out that AI is capable of making out sources, but when you give them a proper prompt and you ask them for the source location as well, but because see, we are a student, even we would have that much of brain whether it's a credible source or not, and that's the reason we are taught like what is primary sources, what are secondary sources, what are credible sources as well. So when we click on those links, sometimes those links are not found also. But when you click on those links, and some links do exist over there, it's not a create, because AI cannot create a site, and AI cannot create an article, AI cannot create a book. They can create up some sort of a thing which you rightly pointed out, but when it's on us also to click on those links, read out that, but it saves time. Like if I have to start my academic research, I have to start from a scratch, but it will narrow down my research in that case. It will help me reduce the time, but it comes on me also, like what kind of, whether I have a full information, what kind of sources are credible and non-credible.
So if I can just extend that, so clearly you're saying in research, and I get you, it's a great help in research. You also mentioned somewhere that reducing error rates by, I don't know, 38 or 40, whatever percent. In the workplace, the challenge we are facing is, the errors being introduced when people are relying on AI for client-ready output. And it's full of errors. So we cannot rely on that at all. And we tell them, please do not do this because, and please flag stuff which is okay. And even in things which should be fairly deterministic, like for example, US dollar conversions and rupees, and just convert everything, and you find errors there. So how do you deal with that? That doesn't seem to gel with this thing of, it's definitely not a productivity increase from my point of view when I'm getting assignments which are, basically things which have to go to clients, and then I have to recheck everything because I see, okay, this seems to be a ChatGPT generated output.
Coming to that part, you rightly pointed out, even finance ministry came with the advisory that bureaucrats are not allowed to use ChatGPT for the same purpose, because see what happened now when something comes up, it's on a human how they take it out. I think human are relying too much on AI for that purpose. It's a helping tool. It will not replace human brain, right? And for the AI, even humans do make an error. Like suppose I have made a research, like you sir rightly pointed out, someone have put you anything which you have to put up to a client, right? But it's on a part of an employee, like whether they're ethical or not. I think if I put up a topic on ChatGPT, it will show me up, but it's on me to verify those sources, to make sure that it match with the data what is provided on the site, be it government, be it client side, or be it from the company side as well. I think that is not fault of a they. And these AI right flag as well that AI can be wrong. Please verify the sources. Please verify the credentials. But I think it's human only. It comes when AI has put up something for you as a data. It's on us to check it as well, not solely relies on it. If and plus. When there's a warning as well that it can be wrong also, or it's not an updated thing, because what we see in ChatGPT or for Gemini, they said that the data might be outdated till it has been recorded at 2022. They are updating it, so there are a lot of things on our part also. I think human and AI together can make a very good thing for into the world, but solely relying on AI for that particular purpose, it's a fault of some to certain extent for the human thing as well.
Okay, thank you, Dr. Narain.
Yep, not much to add, but rather it's just replacing a human error with a system error. Okay, so instead of earlier system where you are having humans to make an error, this time this will be AIs, okay, which might be making an error, and it's again hard to detect in both the counts itself. So certain biases in the human, okay, but similar sort of biases in the AI as well. Just a comment, okay, not a question per se. That's all from my side.
Thank you so much. We'll just take a minute to do the grading and the marking of the team.
Okay, I'm done.
Me too.
Thank you so much. Puneet, over to you.
Thank you so much, Ifsa, for coordinating and beautifully conducting the debate. So with this, we now formally come to a closure. But before we close, I would like to, Ifsa, join me in proposing a vote of thanks. You may please share your words. But basically, from the bottom of our heart, first of all, we're very thankful to the jury members, Mr. Prashant, Dr. Narain, and Ms. Meghna for their time, for the wisdom, and for imparting their knowledge in the question and answer session. I'm also thankful to the FMS Forum, all the president, the vice presidents, and all the different volunteers who worked tirelessly to make this possible. The MSA team, the volunteers from the FMS student body, who also worked very hard with us. My partners in crime, IPSA and Rohan, who are on the call. Thank you so much for your efforts as well. And all the participants, fantastic job. Really appreciate your time and wish you all the best in your future. Ipsa, you may take it forward and make the announcement regarding the results. It will be happening later. If you have anything to add, you may please go forward.
Yeah, I would just take this opportunity, since you've done most of the vote of thanks, I'll just take a minute to thank our sponsors, our title sponsor, Apollo Tires, main sponsor, HDFC Ergo, and the question and answer sponsor, India Infrastructure Publishing Private Limited. I would like to thank the Dean of FMS, Professor A. Venkatraman, for his wholehearted support and suggestions, the jury members, Professor Narain, Mr. Prasanta Roy, and Ms. Meghna Bal for taking out time from the busy schedules to encourage the participants and having the unenviable task of deciding the winner and the runners-up. I would also like to thank the participants, Akhit Singh, Rituparna Samantrai, Garima Malik, Ridhima Srivastav, Pratyush Kumar, Aman Yadav, Alisha Burali, Chandni Chaudhary, for stepping forward, putting their hard work from their presentations, and of course, participating in the debate. It is very commendable. And thank you so much for doing that, because that is how we would want to encourage other students also to come forward and participate in future. I would like to thank the entire FMS Forum, Executive Council for their active participation in innovative ideas, suggestions, and strategic thinking and collaboration in making the event a success. I would like to thank the MSA for their untiring coordination with the students and ensuring the smooth flow of events. I would also like to thank our media partner, and especially Judge, who's there on this call, for coordinating this seamlessly. Last but not the least, I would like to thank Mr. Naveen Kapoor, Puneet Wadhwa, Rohan Arora, and Nitin Kumar, and Charuman Sukhani. Thank you so much.
With this, we formally come to a closure of the debate, and thank you so much, everyone, for joining. I hope you have a blessed day, and we look forward to announcing the results very soon. Thank you very much. Have a great day. Bye-bye.
Thank you, everyone, and thank you for the opportunity. Everyone presented it so well.